everybody?
Yeah, yep. Cool. Ram is just not in that, right? So, Ram in?
Hello?
Hey, Ram, are you there? Ram is back from a training program, so I'm not sure what it is. Let me try to connect him back again. Hey, you don't do that. Sorry, I'm just in the room and I can see somebody banging my room next door. Alright, sorry about that. Let me connect Simon. So, is Simon there?
Simon is not there, I think.
Hey, Manoj, can you connect Simon from there?
Yeah, I think Simon is already there. I think
He's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Simon, I'm on. I'm just not connected into the WebEx yet.
Excellent. Oh, yeah. And Anjali trying to get in at the end, trying to.
Anjali is there actually. I think I've just invited her.
Yeah. I don't know why my WebEx is getting settled. It's still setting up my WebEx session. I don't know why too.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, in the meantime, I think, it's while we wait for this, why don't we introduce each other, pick one, because I think it's very important for Simons, and I think this David Bellis is in as well, so I can stay in.
Yep. All right, well, come from Canada.
Hi David, how are you doing? This is Vasu from Singapore.
Hi, Vasu.
Hi. Okay, right, great. I think while we wait for a couple of people to join us, I think that's just to save the time. I'd like to introduce Vasant Kumar. Vasant he is the co-founder as well, so for the Array Shield, who's here to help us out running through the product demo. Vasant, are you there? Oh my goodness.
Also, I couldn't be able to complete.
Manoj, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, folks. So, yeah, I can hear you. Got disconnected.
Just getting started. I think I can have maximum of 4 sessions, I guess. So. Hello?
Hello?
Is Vasant there? Vasant, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you, Vasu.
Alright, is Manoj there?
I'm here also, yeah.
Simon?
Yes, I'm here.
David?
Yeah, I'm here, but I can't get into the WebEx at the moment.
Okay. Alright, okay. I think I just want Vasant to introduce himself. I think he's representing the Array Shield, and he's here to help us out running through the project. Vasant, I think we have Manoj, Simon, and David, right? So can you guys please introduce yourself for a quick one while we wait for the other 2 people to come in?
And it all goes silent.
Oh, my goodness. Vasant, are you there?
Okay, yeah. Hi, Simon. Hi, David. Hi, Vasu, Manoj. And I suppose Anjali also is there on the call. So I head the data strategy and global sales at Array Shield Technology. So I'm one of the founding members here. And so basically, I take care of the complete global alliances. Before we jump into the presentation, I would like to give you a quick intro about Array Shield. Array Shield is in the security space. In particularly endpoint, we have multiple endpoint solutions, and one of our flagship product is the IDA, which is a two-factor authentication product. So during this presentation, I will specifically be talking about Array Shield two-factor authentication product and how our solution works, how it can be integrated with different use cases, how to pitch a solution to the customer, and I'll also take questions to answer specifically for the market and on the product. So that's a quick agenda for this meeting. So that's a quick intro. So once I hook up the slide, I'll go deep into the technical aspect.
Okay. Vasant, my WebEx is just coming up. now coming up.
Yeah, I can see you on the WebEx as well.
Okay, very good. Okay. Yeah.
I think Ram is now joining now.
But is this Skype line very clear? Can you hear me well?
There is a little feedback and some delay, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys on this WebEx? 'Cause I can't log into it at all.
I can't see the screen now. It's coming up now. Yeah, it's coming up. It just says audio conference go for use phone and stuff. What do you do, Vasant? Should I?
We can use that audio conference also. You can connect via your computer, or there is a UK code too, so people can dial in a free toll number from UK also. So we can use the audio conference which provided WebEx. We can, if the Skype is not clear, we can use that.
Okay, for now I can just close it or minimize it, right? So,
Yeah, you can minimize it.
okay. Somebody is texting me.
I see Simon Keynes on the WebEx.
Ram is
So-
add in. Okay, let me add Ram. I think when I add him, I think somebody will drop. So, but I'm sorry for that.
Oh, I've just
let me
added
add
Ram. I've just added Ram.
Just add it. Hang on a second. Hey Ram, are you there?
Yes.
Welcome to the group. So we have Vasant, Simons, David, Manoj, Anjali, and yes also. Anjali, are you there? I couldn't hear a voice. Anjali. Manoj, are you able to talk to her?
No. Also, I think she can hear, but yeah, she can hear what we say. Looks like we can't hear her.
Okay. I think it's okay, fine. I think you don't need any delay for the delay. Let's start the show. So
Yeah.
I think Vasant, you can catch on. Yo.
Okay.
You want to
But if in case during the call, if I'm fast or if you couldn't able to hear my voice, please stop me,
Yeah.
because most of the next half an hour I'll be only talking. So unless you stop me, I will not understand if I'm clear. I see David also on the Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sharing my desktop now.
I thought Anjali is able to hear, so no problem, so at least.
Can you see this presentation on the WebEx?
I can see it. This is Simon.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, I
It's
can see.
David.
I think
Okay.
I'll add one more guy. The last final one guy is the session. Is that John? Yeah, we can see the screen. Yeah, okay. We can see the slide. Sudarshan, are you there? Sudarshan. All right, good. Yeah, just on time, So, Vasant, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So as I said, ArrayShield has multiple products, and IDA specifically is one of our flagship products. It's on two-factor authentication. So if you see, if you see most of our applications, right, whether it be a web application or a VPN or any application that we have, from Windows 3.2, which is like 20-25 years from now, we still use the name and password to protect our user, right? So, but in this, at this point in time, right, so username and password is absolute, right? So people can steal your user credentials. The passwords, they can steal it in multiple ways. They can put, 1 second. Yeah, so they can put a malware on your computer. They can understand your keystroke. They can understand by taking a screenshot of your system, etc. There is a number of ways where people can use tools to steal your passwords without you be aware of. So in this the identity of the user becomes crucial. So every governing body, be it a bank, in India it's like RBI or SEBI, which is a trading governance body, across the world mandate two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication means the end user should show two different identities to log into a system. So previously it used to be only the password, which is very static and only something that the user remembers in his mind, right? So password I keep, let's say Vasant at 123 is something that I remember in my mind. So that becomes really one identity, and this is very static and being repeated every time when I type my password across my user accounts, right? So that is absolute in this world, right? So what other governing bodies and the regulatory bodies and the compliances mandate is for two different identities to prove yourself. So in two-factor authentication, there can be three different possible identity of you being shown, right? So one is something that you are. You are is something can be a iris or a fingerprint or a signature. Something you are is something that you show through one of your body presence, right? And something that you know is something that you remember in your mind, and something that you possess. It can be your mobile, it can be your let's say ATM card, it can be your dongle that RSA kind of other competitor provide. So something that you possess. So any two of these three, one is something you are, which is the iris or a fingerprint, something you remember, which is a password or a PIN, and something that you possess, which is a smart card or an ATM card or a dongle, etc. Any two of these identities should be shown to log into your system. So that's what a two-factor authentication mandates. So if you see in 2012 alone, you have seen the larger sites like Yahoo, LinkedIn, Dropbox, Last.fm, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and these are some of the sample hacking attacks. I've listed few of these large businesses where hacking attacks have happened, and they have started implementing two-factor authentication already. So in the recent past, you have seen Facebook implementing 2FA, Microsoft purchasing a two-factor authentication company to implement across their solutions, and you see Dropbox implementing. And so this is going to be the trend now, and this is going to be the future. And every credentials every application which possesses critical data is going to be protected using a two-factor authentication, and no more people are going to rely on a username and a password combination. So this is some of the attacks and the business losses that identity theft could consider. So these are like few pointers that I mentioned at a higher level. So I'll jump into the ArrayShield solution. So ArrayShield authentication, IDaaS, we call it as the product, has two different variants. One is a physical card variant and another is a virtual card variant. So let me talk about physical card variant first. So as I said, in any two-factor authentication, people should have two different identities. In our case, the first pattern. Pattern is a sequence of cells on a matrix, right? So we'll be throwing a user a 5x5 matrix as a challenge, and for the first time, we'll ask user to register his pattern. So the user can register any sequence of cells. It doesn't necessarily need to be sequence. It can also be distributed. User has to choose. Let's say the user can choose an L shape, or if the user can choose a T shape, or user can choose four corner cells of this matrix as a pattern that the user only remembers and registers. So in this demo, I have chosen second row as the pattern. So similarly, the user will be provided a transparent card. So if you see the card, this is exactly the same size of a credit card in terms of length, breadth and thickness. and it doesn't have any magnetic tape or magnetic chip. So that way the durability is high. It's a simple plastic card, and if you see the matrix inside, some cells are opaque, some cells are transparent. The 3 W, T, 5, P, and I, as shown in the slide, these are all opaque cells, and the rest are all transparent cells. So, as I said, every card holds a very unique number. So, we can, using a 5 by 5 matrix with 6 opaque cells randomly placed on the card, we can print as much as a 2 billion unique cards. So that way every human in this planet can get a very unique card. So even if we assume 2 billion gets over, we can have a 5 by 6 matrix or 6 by 6 matrix to produce the equivalent or as many more cards as we want. So that way the uniqueness of the card can be retained, and once a card has been printed, it will not be reprinted again. So which means we have to dispose this card for all security reasons. So the user should, as I said, remember a secret, which is a pattern that he registers first, the first factor. And the second is he should possess a unique card, which is a transparent card that he holds in a physical variant. So let's see how we use these two credentials to log into the system. So as I said, every time, this particular example is a web-based application where we show up a character array. This character array is dynamically generated from an authentication manager. Every time you open the screen, the application, you will be thrown a 5 by 5 matrix with random values. It can be alpha numeric value printed on top of it. So it's very dynamic, randomly generated. This is a challenge thrown on the screen. What user has to do is, he has to overlap his card on top of this challenge. I'm showing you an animation, but assume that I have overlapped this card. So once you overlap, you see an all new matrix, right? So previously it is GYVTF, and if you see now, the second row is AHVTF, because two cells which are opaque as overlapped on top of the character array behind, which is a challenge. So if you see the merged cells, you get a different values altogether. So AHVT5 is a current secret code. So because the user has chosen the second row. So the user uses both his card and the secret pattern to derive a one-time secret code. In this case, it is AHV, capital T and 5. So if you notice, every time A and H remain static, but the values behind, which is the white cells, which comes from on the screen, changes every time. So that the rest three will differ. So this is a very simple example. We can set password policies to make the pattern complex. It can be 8 cell in length, and it can be distributed. We can make it distributed. So it can be even made complex. For all demo reasons, I've chosen a very simple pattern. So this is how we log into a web-based application. So let me show it with a real example, and post the example, I will stop for questions. So assume I am the new user. So it takes me to a registration screen. So assume this is a demonstration flow. So because I can't show the card that I possess in my hand, I'm using an animated image as a card. So let's say this is a registration process. So I choose Vasant, today's date. So for the first time, the user will be asked to register a